All right, everybody, welcome back to the April 2020 Watch of the Month Club, where this month we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 one-watch collection watches under $200. Hey everybody, welcome back to Just the Watch. My name's Dave, and this is the Just the Watch Watch of the Month Club, where every month we take a look at the best watches in a given category at a certain price range, and every month I get a lot of help compiling this list from my subscribers, so big thanks to everybody who's been sending in suggestions. A lot of your suggestions made on this time. I'm a little bit excited about this one because this is the 12th Watch of the Month Club we've done, which means that we've done about 1 year's worth of videos, and so I think this is going to wrap up season 1 of the Watch of the Month Club, and then next month we're going to be starting season 2. I'll tell you more about that as we go. But for now, let's go ahead and start looking at the watches. We're looking at one watch collection watches, which is kind of like a watch that, you know, can really fill almost any spot in your collection. So it's like if you had this one watch, it would meet almost all of your needs. That's what we're looking for, versatility here. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. Every month we start with looking at our silver and bronze tier selections. So the bronze tier watch has to be $60 or less. The silver has to be $120 less. So we start with the budget options, and then from there we'll work our way up through the price list. So starting with our bronze selection for this month, coming in at $53, we're going to look at this Invicta Quartz kind of vintage style watch that they have. And so now Invicta, they're known for their big, giant, blingy divers, but they actually have a pretty broad collection, and at the lower price range, they have some pretty good values, I think. This one is very subdued. It's a very classic looking watch. You're getting a date complication with the day at 12 o'clock and the date at 6 o'clock. Really cool, love to see that. And then it's just got a kind of a little bit of an elegance to it. This is only a 40 millimeter watch. 40 millimeter case diameter, 10 millimeters thick. So really nice, manageable sizes. It comes in a lot of different dial options and case colors. So really cool vintage watch, and you get a 50 meters of water resistance with it. So I think this is a really good option for, you know, a good, you know, really low budget one watch collection kind of watch. I really like this one coming in here. Also has inside a Seiko quartz movement, so should give you a lot of, you know, longevity from that, not having to worry about the movement inside. So that's going to make our bronze tier selection. Moving on to our silver tier selection, this watch was recommended by almost everybody in the comments, and it's actually not a lot more than the bronze tier, but it's such a great watch. I think I had to put it in at this price, or at this place in the list. It's the Casio Edifice EFV 100D. You can pick it up for about $75 on Amazon. So this watch hits almost all of the marks that I would like to see in a one watch collection. The only thing that it's lacking is maybe like a sapphire crystal, but you're getting 100 meters of water resistance. You're getting, you know, Casio's great build quality, a nice stainless steel metal bracelet. Just a really cool look to it. It's got that kind of balance between, it's definitely a sporty watch, but you know, it's the kind of thing that I think if you were wearing it with a suit or something, people might do a little bit of a double take. They wouldn't immediately recognize it as not fitting in. So I think this is just a great option. And like I said, this one was recommended by a lot of people in the comments. So 5 or 6 of you guys recommended this watch. Thanks for pointing me in that direction. Just an awesome pick here. And there's a lot of reviews on this one have been coming up recently. It's kind of gotten a lot of appreciation. So definitely, you know, look around online. You can see some full reviews of this watch if you're interested in it. But I think for the value, this is pretty hard to beat for like a one watch collection kind of watch. Now, since this was a watch that was recommended by a lot of people, I want to talk about our next month's category so that I can get some recommendations in. And that's where some of the kind of excitement comes in, because next month we're going to be starting season 2 of the Watch of the Month Club, where we're going to start going through these same categories, but instead of looking at the super budget end of the spectrum at $200 or less, we're going to look through the same categories and we're going to up our price to $500 or less. So we're going to be looking for the top 10 best dive watches under $500 next month. So if you guys, you know, I'm sure you've got a lot of suggestions for that. This is going to be a huge category. There's a lot of amazing options in this sub $500 range. Let's see if we can, you know, filter through the top 10 best dive watches under $500. And then, so now we're bumping up. So we did bronze and silver for the first year of the Watch of the Month Club, the first season. For season 2, we're going to be looking at the gold and platinum selections. Your gold selection will be $250 or less. So if you can give me a dive watch at $250 or less, that will make the gold selection, and the platinum selection will be $400 or less. So we'll be looking at those two price range for our recommendations. And just a reminder, the whole original idea for this Watch of the Month Club is this is meant to be kind of a substitute to a subscription service. So rather than you sending in money every month and getting a random watch at these price ranges, I'm just going to, together with your guys' help, we're going to compile a list and we'll make some recommendations. And you can consider, if you want to do this, budgeting that much money a month and then just going out and buying these watches on your own if you want to. If you don't, you can skip it, do whatever you want. It gives you a lot more freedom. But I think that this is a much better way to build a collection. If you just do a little bit of research, you can go out and find a great watch that you're going to like without relying on a subscription service to kind of randomly send you one. So with all that said, let's go ahead and run through the rest of the list. Today we're going to be going, again, from the cheapest all the way up to the most expensive. Next on our list, we're going to be looking at a watch from Brooklyn Watch Company, which actually is it's a store brand by Joma Shop. So Joma Shop is sponsoring and developing this brand. But I've really kind of appreciated the watches that they've been putting together. They seem to have a pretty good idea of what people are looking for, particularly in a budget watch, and they seem to be putting some pretty good stuff together. So I'd be curious to check this one out. This one is it's another one with a nice stainless steel bracelet. It's the Brooklyn Livingston's classic Swiss Quartz. And they have that one in a lot of different dial options. This one's the ivory one, but this one only comes in at $47. It's a little bit larger at 42 millimeters, but it's got a really nice style to it. You're getting the 50 meters of water resistance, and it's that kind of good balance between sporty and dressy. It's definitely more on the dressy side, but it's coming in on a stainless steel bracelet, give you a lot of versatility there. And this one nicely is coming with a Swiss Ronda quartz, which is again something you don't typically see in this sort of sub $50 price range. So it's pretty cool to see a slightly higher end quartz movement in there as well. A common thread that a lot of you guys were recommending with watches was dive watches, and a lot of people were recommending the Pagani Design Submariner homage. I think that's a great option, but I went with the Loriot instead, which is a very similar one. The primary difference is that the Loriot has a Chinese movement instead of the Seiko NH35 that the Pagani Design has. The Seiko is definitely a better movement, but the Loriot is a smaller size. So the Pagani Design is kind of large. The Loriot is closer to the original Submariner size. This one comes in at 40 millimeters, and I think for a one watch collection, I think that's what you want. I think if you had a kind of a large 43 millimeter Submariner homage on your wrist in a dressy situation, it would be too noticeable. I think at 40 millimeters, that's a lot easier to get away with it, and that gives you the added versatility. Again, unfortunately, you're sacrificing the movement, but this one still has 200 meters of water resistance. It's got a sapphire crystal, and it's got an automatic Chinese movement inside of it. The build quality seems to be fairly comparable between the two, but the size was the big consideration here, and that's why I chose it. But if you are looking for something that has the Seiko NH35 and you don't mind going a little bit bigger, the Pagani Design might be a better option there. All right, next we're going to take a look at something from Seiko. This one coming in at $123. This is the SPC 131P1. This watch was recommended by one of my viewers, which I neglected to write down in my notes who it was, but their name will appear right here. So thank you for recommending this watch. This Seiko is a great, I think, option here. Again, you're getting 100 meters of water resistance, but this one has a really elegant vintage kind of style to it, but it has a ton of features. So it's got a pretty interesting quartz movement inside of it because of all the things that it can do. So it's a alarm, perpetual calendar, chronograph, packed into this kind of vintage style. So this, this looks like a watch with these kind of features would have run you, like a king's ransom back in the 1800s or something. But today you can get it with a quartz movement. You can get those same features, same style and looks. You get 100 meters of water resistance for $123. It's a little bit on the larger side at 43 millimeters, but I think this kind of is an interesting choice for a one watch collection kind of thing. You're definitely getting the the build quality and the sturdiness of a Seiko, along with a lot of great complications. But again, because it has this sort of dressy style, you can get away with wearing it in formal situations or more casual situations and have a lot of fun with this one. So I thought that was an interesting one to put on here. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Citizen Eco Drive. This is the AW 1430-86A, and this one was recommended by Tan2, one of my viewers, so thank you for recommending that. This is a great Eco Drive option here. Reminds me a lot of the Casio Edifice that we looked at earlier. This one coming at $136, but similar kind of sporty design to it. Nice stainless steel bracelet. Citizens build quality, and this one's the Eco Drive, so it's solar powered, so you're going to get some extra features there. Just a really kind of cool look. Like I said, I think last time when I was introducing the one watch collection, the Rolex Explorer is sort of like my ideal one watch collection. If I was ever going to have that kind of money to spend on a watch, that would be the sort of thing I would be looking at. This one kind of reminds me of that with that 12, 3, 6, and 9 dial, but it's got kind of a cool texture on as well. So really kind of cool, sporty looking Eco Drive here. Yeah, pretty cool one to take a look at and check out if you're interested in a one watch collection kind of watch. Okay, next up is the Canton from Jack Mason, and they have this one in quartz and in automatic. We're looking at the quartz option in order to keep it on the price range, but the quartz is actually a really great deal that they're offering here. This is a watch that I've sort of really been keeping my eye on. It's one that I really like the style and the design and everything that it offers. It pretty much hits all the marks that I want out of a one watch collection watch at $160. So I think it's actually a pretty good deal. You're getting a sapphire crystal. You're getting a, it's a Miyota quartz day-date movement inside of it, but you're getting 100 meters of water resistance. Very classy, dressy look. But again, with the 100 meters of water resistance and the sapphire crystal, it's definitely got the toughness to handle anything. You're even getting a little bit of lume on the dial. I don't know how great it's going to last, but I assume probably not that great, but you're getting something there. You get a little bit of lume on the hands and then some pips at 12, 3, 6, and 9. The other cool thing about this one is that it has Jack Mason's Italian leather strap on it. Now, I have a different Jack Mason, just one of their basic aviator quartz watches, and I was blown away at the quality of the strap that they put together. It's a full grain leather strap they had on that one. If this one is anywhere near that quality, it's definitely a huge bonus. It's not something you typically see at watches in this price range. And so all around, I really like this watch. The automatic version I think is $289, and that gets you a Miyota automatic movement and a stainless steel bracelet, which I think is also a pretty fantastic price at that. So this is definitely one I'd be taking a look at. This is one of my favorite ones on the list as well. Okay, moving on, we're going to be taking a look at a watch from Orient. This one recommended by Humberto Hernandez. Thank you for pointing me in the direction of this one. This is the Orient Maestro, which came out last year. So this is a very dressy watch, but and I would definitely categorize this as a dress watch, but it is coming on a stainless steel bracelet, and you're getting 100 meters of water resistance. You don't see that on a lot of Orient's automatic watches in this price range, so that was, I think, one of the big upgrades for this watch from last year, and that's why I think we'll kind of put it into this one watch collection kind of thing. It's definitely a very minimalist style watch, very simple, which again gives you a lot of versatility there. But yeah, kind of a cool one if you're into Orient, if you're into automatic watches, in the under $200 price ranges. I think this is a really cool one to look at. And they do have a lot of different, dial and strap options as well. So you can kind of mix it up a little bit if you want something a little bit more interesting than just the simple classic black dial. Next up, we're going to be going over to Switzerland to check out the Ceritna DS2. This is the Precidrive. And so this one you can get it on Joma Shop for $175. Really great dimensions, coming in at 40 millimeters. And yeah, just really cool. Definitely more on the sporty side. You're getting a black and sort of bright neon green accents on it. So definitely has a little bit of a sporty, aggressive look. But Ceritna, what they're known for is their waterproof watches. They make a lot of watches that are meant to be able to handle water sports, but they have a very refined, dressy look. And this one I think kind of fits into that. So, this one's coming on a leather strap, so definitely if you're going to be taking it into the water, you're going to want to put it on something other than the leather strap that it comes on. But this one, it's got a kind of a nice style to it, and it's got a sapphire crystal. It's got 100 meters of water resistance, date complication, everything you would need in there, and it's a Swiss-made watch with a ETA quartz movement inside of it. So definitely on the upper end of quartz movements that you're going to find in this price range. $175. I think you're doing pretty good at this. It's even got kind of a cool little deployant clasp on the strap as well. All right, moving on to our final watch today, and this one's going to be the Orient Kamasu. So we're going for another dive watch. Dive watches, I think, are just, for me, they're not what I would go to for a one watch collection. Just because I would want something that would work with a suit better. But there are some dive watches, I think like the Submariner style watches can do it. And I think the Kamasu is definitely dressy enough to be able to pull it off in a more formal situation if you had to in a pinch. Unfortunately, this one, in order to get under the $200 price range, I had to opt for the rubber strap one, which is decidedly less dressy. But you could throw this over to a leather strap and do the kind of whole dive watch on leather strap if you needed to dress it up. But other than that, the watch is a very elegant watch, and you're getting fantastic lume. You're getting 200 meters of water resistance. You're getting an automatic in-house movement. What else? and a sapphire crystal on top of it all. So great watch all around. And this one, it's not huge for a dive watch either. I think this one comes in at 42 millimeters for this one. So a little bit on the larger side, but for a great everyday watch, if you're looking for like one watch that will do it all, I mean, this is probably like pound for pound the best watch on the list, I would say. But Orient's tough to beat in those categories. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this month's Watch of the Month Club video, and it's actually wrapping up for all of season 1. Thank you guys for watching through the Watch of the Month Club videos for the last year. Really looking forward to season 2, where we'll be able to jump up and look at some slightly higher price watches, but again, still staying in this affordables collection. And I'm looking forward to revisiting these categories to be able to see what kind of better watches we can find at these higher price range with a little bit less price constraint. So definitely let me know. Next month, dive watches, your favorite dive watches under $500, and particularly if you can find me a $250 one to make our gold recommendation, or a $400 one to make our platinum recommendation. Those are our new metals that we're working with this month. That would be great. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.